Okay, I'm Alex again at GoFoil. I'm going to show you how to put your wings on. We're taking this all apart. We've got our mast. We pulled. This is an EVA wing. We're pulling this out. This is a Helicoils 200. I've just pulled my EVA or Helicoils tail wing out of the package. We've got our mast here. We've got the screws for your wings. These are M6 by 1 screws. The front one is a little bit longer than the tail one. The main thing you've got to make sure is that if you have, like this box has multiple foils in it, you have to make sure that the serial numbers for your wings match the serial number for your mast. Like this is the serial number on the mast. There's another serial number for this right here. It's a little bit hard to read, but there's a serial number on the bottom of your mast too. Okay, this is your screws. One's a 20 millimeter that goes on the tail. The 25 millimeter goes on the front. You can see there's a difference in the thickness of your fuselages. This is the fuselage, the top part of your mast. This is called the mast. This is called the tuttle. This is a tuttle base. From here down we call it the tuttle base. These right here are called your barrel nuts. These are brass inserts that are threaded, and you put bolts from the other side either to mount your plate adapter or to mount your tuttle bolts right through your board. There's two ways to mount a tuttle box. Your tuttle base. This tuttle base goes onto a plate foil. We have a plate adapter that you fit on here. It'll have 2 bolts on the bottom and then 4 bolts that go into your board, or you go directly into your board, which is a little bit cleaner, and just put 2 bolts straight through your board. Okay, now, we've taken our foil out of our box. We've got a wing cover, which is this big cover. You've got your mast cover, and then you get a bag that'll have this instructions for how to drill a tuttle box. This is your safety precaution. There's a screwdriver inside here, your GoFoil screwdriver. And these are your tuttle bolts. There's 2 different sizes depending on whether you have the older or the newer position of where we put our barrel nuts. So this is what you're going to do to mount your tuttle base. We've got our 2 screws that we just pulled out of our mast. We take our wing. The main thing you have to do when you're putting on wings is have the right rubber mallet. This is called a deadhead. This is 18 ounces. It's fairly heavy, but it's fairly soft. It's not super hard. Like some of the black mallets are super hard and will damage the trailing edge of your wing if you hit it real hard. So I recommend this deadhead. I've had this one for at least a year or 2, and you can see it's still in good shape. Most of the black ones will start to cut here after a while. So the main thing is to have a really good rubber mallet. Now, to put on your wings, you put it on your mast here like this, on the front of your fuselage, and I'm going to hit it. Let's try and move this out in the sun a little bit. I'm going to hit this directly from the tip of your wing straight through this fuselage. So think of the straightness of the fuselage. This is the direction your hammer wants to go. You don't want to hit down. You don't want to hit up. You want to go straight towards the direction of that fuselage so the maximum force is going the right way. If you go down or up a little bit, you're putting stress on both the wing and your fuselage, and you could, end up getting little spider cracks and all kinds of stuff because you're doing, you're hitting it the wrong way. So basically, I grab onto the fuselage. I'm going to hit this straight into it. I'm leaving this just a little bit loose. I don't want it super tight already, because if it's a hair loose, it'll get a little momentum when I whack it. So I'm going to give it one good whack right there. Now seems like you've hit it really hard, but this thing can take it. These things are super strong. You just have to have the right mallet to where you don't damage it. Now you look inside here, look at your screw. You want these screw holes to line up perfectly. You see how that looks like it's almost dead on? You don't want these things to where this wing is not totally on and you end up getting the screw in there crooked, and you'll cross thread it, and you could possibly damage your helicoil. The helicoil is that silver thing on the inside. So grab your screw, and if you're worried about it, you put the screw in there first, and look how I can tighten that with my hands. If you can tighten this with your hands, it's perfect. If it's a little bit tight and it's getting all cockeyed, stop, reassess whether you have it on there all the way. You want to make sure that your hole and the hole on this wing lines up perfectly. Otherwise, just imagine you're going into a hole and you put your screw in a little bit cockeyed, you can damage these threads and then, or damage your screw or both. So be very careful when you first do this. Okay, you put it on there. The other thing here is you do not crank these screws. The screws are just there to be a set screw to stop it from falling off again. It's just to hold it in place. The whole tightness of this wing, like look how rock tight this thing is. I can't even, wiggle this thing. It's because of the seat of the seat of these and your fuselage is what is creating the tightness. This whole tightness here is caused by these two connections, not from your screw. So do not over tighten your screw. Okay, we got our front wing on. To do our back wing, let me not step too much on my brand new cover here. Okay, the wing is facing up. These tips are going up or really down when the foil is over the other way. We're going to put it on there. Don't put it on the other way is what I'm getting at. You're going to be on the top this way. Okay, so I get it. It's a little bit loose. This is how I like to do my wings. See how it's just a hair loose. I'm not all the way tight yet. Grab the fuselage, same thing. I'm going to hit this tail wing right on this tab on the back. Don't hit your tail wing out on the sides because you're going to put undue pressure on this fuselage. Go straight from this tip here. Give it one good whack. Now you see it sounds like it's really, a lot of force going onto your wing, but give it one good whack and it's perfect. These wings are made out of solid pre-preg. This is, especially your tail wings, all solid carbon. This one has a little bit of foam in it. The front wing, that's why it floats. But there's got so much carbon in them, they can take a really good whack from a good hammer. Don't hit it with a super hard hammer, not a regular hammer, always a good rubber mallet. Okay, now, same thing as our front wing. It's imperative to make sure your holes line up. Okay, we've got the wing knocked on there. You want to make sure exactly that this thing lines up perfectly. The way to check it is you can put it in with your hand, put it on. See how easy it goes in? Okay, we've got our screw totally off. I'm going to grab my fuselage. I'm going to hit straight this way. Don't hit down. Don't hit up. Try and go straight down the fuselage. The front wing, back wing is all the same. I grab this. I kind of have it towards my thigh so it doesn't go anywhere. And hit it right close to your mast or your fuselage so that you can knock it off. That's how to get it off. Hit it in towards your thigh so it doesn't fall on the ground. To get it on, put it on there, have it a little bit loose, grab onto your fuselage, hit directly the direction of your fuselage. Give it one good whack and look at it, see if she's lined up. She's all lined up. Check your screw. Goes in there good. Undo it. Get it off. Hold onto your fuselage. Have it towards your thighs. Don't put it right into your thighs or you'll get bruises. And tap it. You can hit it really hard. Hit it straight on the trailing edge close to the fuselage. That's the key. This is off. This is on. Just like that. Off and on. Just like that. That's how you do your GoFoil wings. Okay. That will take it off. Comes out super easy. Grab our mallet, and like I was showing you before, I like to put my thighs right here, and I'm going to whack this really hard close to this edge without trying to hit your fuselage. Don't get way out on the ends because you start to break it. You could put a little extra stress on it, so be close to the center. Grab your fuselage so that this is making an opposite force to my hammer. You don't want to just sit there and pound on it when it's in your board, because the board is kind of moving and doing weird stuff. If you hold your hand, you'll have a little bit extra pressure to hold it. Okay, hit it. You can hit it really hard there. Just make sure you have a good deadhead or similar type hammer. Comes off, boom, that's all you got to do. Yep. Okay, here's another way in case you get your front wing really stuck on there. This will put a little bit more force on your wing to get it off. What you do is put it on something where you're not going to damage your wing tips, and you hit the mast and hold with your feet the back of your wing. Okay, you're just kind of trying to stop this thing from moving and hit it right here. This will create a little more force than actually trying to pound the wing off like this, like in our standard position. So if you really get it stuck, try that. Okay, this is a do not do. You do not use your drill gun with a Phillips head or any other kind of head to try and put in your screws. This is a no-no for your wings. Don't ever try to do that. We're going to grab our wing screw and show you how to mess this thing up. You put it in there, you think it's straight, the thing turns sideways. Now look what happened. That thing just jackknifed in there. And we're like, oh shoot, what did we do? Try to put it straight, oh, it's still jackknifed. So what we have done is messed up our helicoil. And look at the actual screw itself. See how that looks all stripped at the top? You don't want to ever use a drill gun to do your screws on your wings.